I want to deal with the business aspect of Shakur Stevenson so I can help the young brother out. Now, when Shakur Stevenson said that about, Bob Arum have a history of holding black fighters down. He did it with Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather was signed to Top Rank, he did it with Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford was signed to Top Rank. I got confused a little bit because the last time I checked, Jay Prince is Shakur Stevenson's manager, correct? Okay. Jay Prince was Floyd Mayweather's manager when he was with Top Rank, correct? Okay. Jay Prince is black, right? Okay. So where I'm confused at is Shakur Stevenson has a black manager who negotiated a deal with a white Jewish man and Bob Arum and those that represent Top Rank to get Shakur Stevenson signed over there. But yet Shakur is saying that the way Bob Arum and Top Rank treat black fighters are not right. So I'm just a little bit confused. You're only as good as your team in boxing. I know the old adage says that you're only as good as your last fight. But if your last fight ended when you knock somebody out, when you get in the next fight, you're not as good as the knockout. There's nothing greater than a knockout. You're only as good as your team that puts you in the right fights, whether you win, lose, or draw. So I want to start a new adage. Since I come from the business side of the sport of boxing, you're only as good as your team. And if your team is not right, if your team is not good, it does not matter how much talent you have. You're not going to excel in this business. You need good representation. I'm not saying that Shakur's representation is bad business. Obviously, it's not. Jay Prince is a good businessman from what we all can see, and he has a history of conducting business in different industries, and he has been successful at it. What I'm saying is, it just sounds confusing to me when I hear Shakur Stevenson say that Bob Arum and Top Rank hold the black fighters back or suppress the black fighters intentionally because they're black when Shakur's representation is black and help secure the deal so that he can get signed to Top Rank. That's just where I'm confused at. And not only that, Big Baby Jarrell Anderson, who is also black, he is represented by Jay Prince, and he's also signed to Top Rank. So I was a little bit, confused by why Shakur said that. If his representation is black, a black man who basically helped him ink the deal and represented him to ink the deal with Top Rank from the very beginning. Now, there's so many options that Shakur Stevenson has on the table as a free agent. He doesn't actually have to sign with any promoter. But the backside and the downside and the other side of that coin would be what is the market value and is he entertaining enough, appealing enough to galvanize the casual boxing fan to pay the money he think he deserves. Because if a promoter come in, the one thing they're going to want to know for projection purposes is, what did you do in your last 3 fights? Let's see what your live gate look like. Let's see what your numbers look like on ESPN Plus. Let's see what your numbers look like on regular ESPN. Let's see, because we need to know if we putting this money behind you, are we going to be able to recoup and possibly make a profit? No one gets in the business to lose money. You invest money, and there's a risk in that where you might potentially lose money, but we don't just wake up in the morning and say, I want to lose money, so I'm just going to just throw it at the wind. That's not good business. That's why Eddie Hearn said, when Devin Haney said what he said about that was nasty work, that Matchroom didn't step up to the plate and be involved in the purse bid. You heard what Eddie said. He said, I'm not interested in losing $1 million. That's what Eddie Hearn said. So already he's saying it's not worth the effort and my resources, especially when the guy's not signed to me, especially when a fighter's not signed exclusively to me. So what I'm saying is this, and I know people are not going to like this, but once you learn the business, if you listen to me long enough, you're going to learn the business of boxing. You'll understand what I mean. This is how we know that Top Rank has done a tremendous job with Shakur Stevenson, because there's a matchmaker over there. I keep saying his name over and over again. Brad Goodman, that put Shakur Stevenson in the right fight. He pushed Shakur Stevenson in some of the right fights for him based on his style. Not just him, I'm sure there's other matchmakers as well. But my point is, if we're talking about Shakur Stevenson, then that means that Top Rank did a good job with him. He got him the exposure, right? ESPN cut a check to Bob Arum so that Shakur Stevenson can get paid, right? So it's up to the fighter next to start producing. You see what I mean? So the promoter did his part in going to secure a deal with the network to get you exposed to a global audience. Now it's your job to make sure the fans want to come see you over and over again. Double salute to my guy, Deem, by any means. Thank you for your support in the super chat, Deem, and your contribution as always, my fellow Philly native. Deem says in the super chat, roll the tape, and Shakur should sign with GTD. He's guaranteed to the fight and be promoted right. Just a thought. Deem, that was a good thought. And Deem is saying that maybe Shakur Stevenson should go sign with Gervonta Tank Davis's promotion because it'll be easier to make the fight. I think that Shakur Stevenson right now, with the representation that he has with an experienced, good businessman like Jay Prince, he should basically freelance. He should basically enjoy the benefits of being a free agent because he can make more money as a free agent. And 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 he's coming to the table. He is a champion, right? He has a title, correct? Shakur Stevenson. He got a belt, right?
You talking about this last fight that he had or before? Because I remember him and Frank Martin was supposed to fight for a belt last time I checked. Did he win a belt?
I think he did win the belt at 135.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. So he has a title that gives him more leverage, only because, of course, he would have to pay his sanctioning fees when he compete. But at the same time, he should be able to enjoy himself, not being exclusively signed to a promoter. Freelance, you know, search the market, see how much the market is saying that this is the value of free agent professional boxers. And if he has to go back to Bob Arum, if they still offer him what they offer him, then fine. Why not? But at the same time, the only reason why, and this is just my opinion based on the business of boxing and my knowledge, the only reason why a fighter should come out of the cloud and underneath the umbrella of a promoter is when your name sells itself. In other words, is the promoter's taking a lot of risks when you're signed with the promoter to get you exposed, to put out the marketing dollars, to put out the resources and efforts to promote you and put you in the proper fights that will cater to your style and your strengths to continue to win and look good while winning. But if you are a free agent and you don't have a name for yourself that's going to generate ticket sales and generate pay-per-view buys and generate closed circuit and all the other methods that promoters make money and fighters make money and managers make money, then it's best that the risks not be all on you outside the ring as the fighter. The risk is already on the fighter for everything they have to do outside the ring in training, living a specific lifestyle, and inside the ring. But outside the ring, the guys and ladies with the suits and boots on, you let us handle that part. And so all I'm saying is, hey, if his name is not big enough yet, $3 million per fight sounds good to me. But it doesn't mean that it's going to sound good to Shakur because he believes that he's worth more than $3 million per fight. But we got to keep it all the way real. And this is not an attack or a shot at Shakur. But Shakur Stevenson only does well in his hometown in Newark at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. We haven't seen him outside of there, but except for one time, that was on a Thursday when he fought the guy, I believe his name was De Los Santos, on a Thursday night in Vegas, right? So now we got to see Ken Shakur Stevenson be a headliner where he's fighting at another venue. And then that will be a start to determine whether or not his market value is what he feels that it is. Because it's all about testing the market. I mean, we can say we feel like our worth and value is this or that, but you have to test the market to see if anybody is willing to put up the money if you're not performing the way the people, the fan base wants you to perform. I like how Shakur Stevenson performed, always have. But some people think that he should go in there, knock people out, become a fan favorite. And so if that's what the casual fans are attracted to, and then you're not producing and performing that way, that can also go bad for a fighter and their marketability.